Hi, everybody. It's the Dead Air Horror Review Show, and it's Chris and TJ, and we watched Saw X. And Chris, I don't know about you, but I was pretty confused because I never saw Saw W. Um, thank you,
I
thank
saw
you.
that comment earlier
Yes.
on your
Also, but the rejected one that I was going to write was, "This is the most boring porno I've ever seen."
and
Um,
I also don't believe that to be true.
we watched Saw X, and for some goddamn reason, I have seen every Saw film.
You're
I have
lying.
seen no,
Have you really?
I have seen every single
There's a
Saw.
lot.
There is at
I
more than
started going
10,
back through
believe
the
it or not.
crows and
I even saw that awful Chris Rock one that came out a couple years ago,
right.
Jigsaw from the book, or no, Spiral from the Book of Saw. The fuck is that? I saw the weird pseudo soft reboot that came out before that, and I've seen all the other Saw movies. And the funny part is, I've seen them all, and I hate all of them. I, my favorite Saw movie was Saw 3D, which I believe is the last one, which
Anything
was
with 3D in the title, you know is going to be garbage.
so it's a bad movie, but it's like so stupid that it's like really entertaining. Like it leans into how fucking dumb it is.
Okay.
And like the kills in
Fair
it are
enough.
a lot of fun. And it's like so over the top and hammy. It's a lot of fun.
Is it
Uh
also actually 3D?
no, it's like remember when that 3D trend was going on a few years
Yeah.
ago, and it was just like
Yeah.
it's just like old 3D movies. Like one aspect of it was in 3D, and it's like it's just
Okay.
stupid.
All right.
Um so yeah, Saw X. This continues the tradition of Saw movies that I just don't like very much.
Can I throw in a quick fun fact too?
Please.
I think every single Saw movie that's been done, including the series you mentioned with Chris Rock, um, the sound design and the music composition has been done by Charlie Clouser, who was one of not the original member of Nine Inch Nails, but
No,
one
he
of
was one of the
the
founding
founding
members. Yeah,
members.
yeah. No
This is
shit.
where he's really gotten his
I mean that
bread
makes a
and
lot of
butter.
sense because it sounds like I remember listen the first Saw sounded like generic like Nine Inch Nails industrial music.
He probably had leftover sound effects and was like, "Let me just
Yeah.
this would be perfect."
I and I think I've talked about this on the show. I think I've used Saw explicitly as an example. So it's unfair for me to keep getting mad about it. So it's just like I just have to accept what it is. But like I hate what Saw represents. Like I hate how Saw movies are edited. I hate like every time there's like an interesting kill, there's just like 40,000 cuts and like all this like loud music, and it's just like
Yeah.
to me it just takes you out of the experience. And so this movie, again, we've been a few years without a proper Saw, because again that Spiral was supposed to be like a new, I guess it was because they definitely left that one on like a cliffhanger,
Yeah.
that there was going to be another one, but no, there's not going to be any more of those. um but that did take place within the same universe as regular Saw because the killer was inspired by Jigsaw, which was fucking stupid because they already did that in the other ones.
Speaking of Jigsaw, for those of you that are listening to the podcast and can't see the actual video, it looks like you have a Jigsaw cake behind you.
It
You
might be
can't see
cake.
the head of
Yeah,
Jigsaw. All you
just
can see is a little red bow
well,
tie.
yeah. I don't even know what that puppet's called. Like, I don't even know why that puppet exists because it's just like creepy. Like, I
It
don't
serves
like.
zero purpose.
Yeah, like most things in the movie. But this movie did kind of like the Fast and the Furious, like Tokyo Drift kind of thing, where this movie is technically in between, I think, two and three, because Jigsaw is still alive, and the whole plot revolves around him. The previous Saw movies like is about Jigsaw having terminal cancer and him, becoming this weird, like fucking. Well, he doesn't consider himself a murderer. He considers himself kind of weird, torturous, like Tony Robbins kind of character. But anyway, eventually in the Saw movies, he does die,
Okay. Is somebody breaking into your apartment?
No, there's just like a lot of screaming outside for some reason. I'm sorry.
Hmm. Did you want to go check on that? It's probably best if you didn't, maybe. I,
Yeah, can we pause? Can we like
yeah,
start the recording
I
over?
think we can technically pause. Yeah, I think I can
Yeah,
pause.
but I
All right.
think that keeps our recording time.
Yep.
Like
All right.
it's
TJ's still with us.
there's like a march down Main Street about the like for a ceasefire, which
Oh, okay.
I support, but like I don't think anyone in Israel is gonna hear you guys in Catonsville, but that's just me.
Hey, say it loud, say it
I mean,
proud.
I respect it. I mean, I guess I don't know. Like I
Yeah.
don't know. Again, I fully support that, but it's just
Hey,
kind
if we're
of
going to be
weird.
interrupted by anything, I'd rather it be by a peaceful protest.
Yeah, I mean it's fine. Anyway, all right. Sorry.
All right. So anyway, we were talking about the jigsaw cake behind you. No, we were talking about um, in the cinematic universe of Saw,
Yes,
how this fits into the other 20
it's
movies.
somewhere between 2 and 3, I think, because he's already established in this movie that he is Jigsaw and that he's already started like killing people. But obviously, and his assistant is in this movie,
Mm-hmm.
Amanda, who famously is the first victim in the original Saw. She's the one with the bear trap on her head, but she survives, and then she eventually becomes. It's like a twist in the second movie, but she becomes like his
Understudy.
assistant. Now one thing that's always bothered me about this series, and they literally don't even bother to try to explain it, but how a 155-pound woman and an elderly man who is dying of cancer can set up all these elaborate
Amazing.
machines and
But this
drag
is
these
truly their calling.
bodies around. It's like so fucking ridiculous. Anyway, let's
Yeah.
get into so this movie. Jigsaw again is he's still alive, but he's got terminal brain cancer, and he finds he's basically like in like getting ready to die.
He's terminal. He's got weeks, maybe a
Months,
month or
yeah,
two left.
maybe months, but he's about to die. He's literally writing his last will and testament. Also, he went to a restaurant where they gave him a whole French press. I maybe I don't know. You live in rarefied air than I do, but have you ever been to a restaurant that gave you a whole ass French press full of coffee?
France.
Oh fuck, fucking France. Oh, maybe he was in France.
But
It
other
is
than that,
hey, look, it is a
no.
quality way to make coffee. I have one right here.
Oh,
It's
look at that.
yeah. I drink a lot of coffee. It's a quality way to make your
You
coffee.
drink at night too? Is that how you got through this movie?
No, it's empty.
Multiple
It's
French
it's it's,
presses.
it's empty. I'm just lazy. It needs to go in the kitchen and be washed, but it was there from this morning. Anyway, so yeah, so he is about to die, and runs into a person that's in one of his like cancer groups, like like a that's the right way to call it, right? A
Yeah.
support group, a support
Yep.
group. And the guy in the support group's like, "Oh, I found this like miracle cure," and it's funny. They say like four different people say the same thing. They're like, "Oh, it's a treatment that involves a cocktail of drugs and surgery." Like
Yeah.
four different people say they don't. They say the exact same phrase over and over again. I swear to God, this movie. I know it's not, but if you told me this script was written by an AI, I would totally believe you. Because it's like, oh, it's a special a cocktail of drugs and fucking
Well, you could look at it this way too, that it was well, spoiler alert, that it was so scripted that everyone knew the script and they knew
right.
it
But
was,
yeah, I mean, yeah, okay, you're doing a little work for the movie, but yeah,
I
that's
sure
fine.
am.
I can,
It's
I
a
can,
paid advertisement.
So anyway, so he gives the guy from the cancer support group
Support group.
gives Jigsaw this link and tells him about this like surgery, and anyway Jigsaw follows the link, and it's this guy that has this super secret cancer treatment, but the big pharma is trying to take them down because if they cure cancer, then they'll put the
Big
pharmaceutical
pharma's out of money.
out of business, which is kind of stupid, but anyway, kind of accurate, kind of dumb at the same time. But anyway, um, because if anyway, it doesn't matter. If you actually had such a cure, the pharmaceutical companies be rushing to patent it so they could fucking do the same grift that these people, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like anyway. Um, but like again, a fifth grader wrote this. Like, um, anyway, so he goes and he has to go to, I think it's Mexico, and it's all this like cloak and dagger stuff. They have to keep like they're off the grid or whatever. And then he gets this supposed experimental treatment. They're like, everything's success and you're great. And I don't know about you, Chris, but I fucking laughed out loud when the reason why Jigsaw realizes that he didn't have surgery is because he takes his bandages off and he's got like keep in mind he has he has brain cancer, and he was supposed to have fucking brain surgery. So he takes his fucking bandage off and he's still got a full head of hair
Yeah.
and no scars. And like, I don't know about you, Chris, but I've had surgery before, and like you could feel that you still had fucking hair. You know,
Yeah.
like how I was like, that is the dumbest. Like that is so stupid. Like when he had the bandage on, your head would be hot and sweaty. Like, what did
But
they
that
numb his hair? Like, what? Like, it was so fucking stupid.
and that wasn't even his first move. That wasn't
Right.
that that was the final indicator that he had
Oh,
got
that's right.
scammed.
That's right. That's right.
But
That's right. I'm sorry. Yeah,
what
correct.
I thought was even
Continue.
funnier was that there was an instructional DVD on how to
On
do
brain
brain
surgery.
surgery.
Which they showed to him in the operating room because for
Yeah,
some reason they decided to keep him awake for part of it. I guess to convince him. I don't know. It
right.
was fucking so stupid. And so
Yeah,
anyway, so then you find out that Jigsaw has been scammed. He's gonna die. These people literally just scam cancer patients. It's all fake. Nothing's real. Like this villa was rented, the science lab was the doctor's office, I guess, is rented. Everything is phony. So then Jigsaw decides, well, now it's time for me to be Jigsaw and Jigsaw all these people.
this is the
And
moment every single Saw fan was waiting for. All the other stuff was just fluff.
yeah,
Like,
and let me just start off by saying that it's a very odd and misguided, I think anyway. Um it's kind of a misguided premise to have Jigsaw as like the good guy, and
yeah,
like all these people
the
now,
moral
like
compass. Yeah,
like one of the
that was my
one of
biggest problem.
there's only like one of them that you kind of feel bad for because you find out that she was working with them because she's like a drug addict or whatever. But like the rest of them, like fully knew what they were doing and are fully complicit in jipping. I shouldn't use that word
Yeah,
anymore.
you can't say that.
Bleep that out. They're fully complicit in ripping off um cancer patients that are terminal cancer patients. So like I want all those people to die. So like
Right.
where's the stakes? Like it's weird to like you're in a position where you're rooting for Jigsaw, which is odd. Like it's
Yeah.
just an odd like decision to make. And also like I don't know about you, but like I felt like it took forever to get to like the Saw part of this
It was
movie.
a long movie. When I saw the runtime, I think it was like well over 2 hours, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Oh
So
my
the
god.
lead up to the actual killings seemed like it took forever. And I
Yes,
understand
yes.
that could have been condensed down to like
10
20
minutes.
minutes.
You
Yeah.
could have told it in the fucking opening credits. Like you could have just
Yeah.
told like a montage.
Yeah. They
Like
really
I was,
milked.
I thought I was going to live, but
Yeah.
then it turns out I was going to die, so they had to die. Like you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like give
Yeah.
me like you could have literally just started with them in the
And
room, like you do with all the other Saw movies.
this scene right
Oh,
here,
that was so annoying. That was
all over
like
the
a
posters, all over the marketing.
literally the poster, the cover to the movie.
Yeah, it was a daydream. It
Yeah, it
it
was a date. He was
it didn't even happen.
fantasizing about it, which is so stupid.
So dumb.
Also,
Yeah.
probably the most creative kill in the whole movie that didn't
Yeah.
even happen. Like that was the only I thought. So you always have to judge these Saw movies by their traps, right? And I felt like the traps were really boring. Like the eyeball hose thing was kind of
Yeah,
cool,
that was pretty good.
but like everything else was kind of like the same thing. It's like you got to fucking saw off this to get this
Mhm.
much stuff out to weigh this, and it's just like, eh. Like it
Yeah.
was just kind of like, and I thought it was funny. So like the first person that gets got, like she has to like cut her fucking leg off to put like cartilage in this tube to like weigh it out. And it's funny because like she like legitimately does it. Like she like garrots her like leg off. And then like she dies because she ran out of time. But it's just funny because they're like, well, she didn't have the will to live. And it's like, well, she did it. Like you just
Yeah.
like if you gave her like 10 more seconds, she would have been alive. Like, what the fuck? Um, yeah, and like, I don't know, also Saw or Jigsaw being able to like so when he finds out he got ripped off, he's literally like calling the he calls the detective and he's like, I need you to locate these people. But like he's a detective in like Chicago or something. Like, how does he have what is he fucking got
Yeah,
Interpol
connections.
connections to like
Yeah.
Mexico? Like
Right.
at least make this
That's
movie in like California. Like again, this movie, if you pull at any particular thread in this movie at any point in the movie, it's like it falls apart. Like nothing holds up to any kind of scrutiny.
Well, let's get to the meat and potatoes because all
Please,
anybody cares about when they watch a Saw movie is the kills. So since
yes.
you've seen them all, how do these kills stack up to the previous Saw movies?
I
Because
don't
this
think it.
one it has been getting a lot of hype, and after watching it, I don't understand it.
I
Um,
yeah, I not good. I mean, again, I think the eyeball thing was really good. I thought
yeah,
that was fun and like really disgusting. But like the rest of them were just kind of like
it looks like a Marilyn Manson photo shoot.
it absolutely does. Or
Yeah.
like that. You remember the speaking of Nine Inch Nails? Remember the Happiness and Slavery
Oh
video?
yes, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That guy that was in the video. I think his name was like Mike Flanagan. No, Walt something Flanagan.
Yeah.
But he was like a performance artist that used to do all kinds of gross shit, like nail his dick to a board and stuff. I remember there's a documentary about him. It was
Yeah, he's
fascinating.
a really interesting character. He
Well,
had multiple sclerosis.
yeah, and I think he videotaped his death, if I remember
Yeah,
correctly.
I believe so.
Interesting. I think it was called Sick. If anybody wants to watch it, it was
Yeah,
pretty interesting.
yeah.
Sicko or Sick, pretty interesting. Anyway, uh, you can always tell when the movie sucks when I constantly like wander off from talking about it. But yeah, but no, the kills are boring. One, and I also think like I don't know. One of the things that is fun about Saw movies is like it like the Saw traps are always kind of like a maze too. Like they're in some kind of environment where you got to like go from room to room or something. I think
Yeah,
you lose a lot by just having all of the victims in one room all together, and it's just like because it kind of feels all samey. And then like
yeah,
I mean, like the girl that has to cut her leg off and then gets like her head cut off by the garrote thing. I mean, it's kind of neat, but like, and then the next guy has to like lobotomize himself. And also, I don't know too much about brain surgery, but I feel like if you literally like went and cut out like I feel like it would affect your motor skills as you're like cutting into your own brain, but what
yeah,
do I know? And then for some reason, again, the timer again, and it's exactly the same as the first kill. Like he does what he's asked, but the time runs out. So it's
yeah.
like again, like he
Well,
did the
he
thing, but like
hesitated. He delayed. That's on him.
yeah, he did the thing, and then like his head is in like a like an Aztec like I don't know like an
Yeah, like a
Aztec Iron
torture
Maiden,
mask with
which
like
was kind of
spikes.
neat, but like that should have kind of been the kill. I think that should have been like more of
He
it
should
because
have opened back up because it closed
yeah, that would have
and,
been cool.
and had those. I think it had heat coils in it,
It
maybe.
did. It would look like a toaster on the
Yeah,
inside.
and
That would
it
have
just
been cool.
closed, but we didn't get to see the final product.
Yeah, I would have liked to seen him like toast it up. That'd have been pretty neat. Um, and then
But
what's the next one is the girl,
the girl, yeah, hanging.
and this one also is just really stupid because Amanda, Jigsaw's assistant, like wants Jigsaw to take pity on her because she's a drug addict. And if people remember, Amanda is a drug or was a drug addict, but Jigsaw's like intervention in her life like turned her life around. Um, so she wants her to take pity on her. So like her torture is like she's hanging from like a handcuff and she's got like her leg also shackled and there's like a heat gun that's like burning
Giant
her
industrial heat gun that could probably, well, will melt your face off.
and it does
Yeah,
melt a lot of her off. So but she's got like a hammer. Again, this is just not creative. So she's got like a hammer and she has to like break her leg and her hand so she can like not be burned to death and that's like
yeah.
it. and it's really like lame. It's just like okay, like,
Right.
and she does survive, and then Jigsaw's like, okay, get her to a hospital, and then this is when the
Like he
twist.
actually gives two shits about her.
I one of the worst parts about these fucking movies is like, in this movie is they do it like hard, is that like his fucking moral compass is so stupid. Like I think a
Mhm.
better movie and a smarter writer would show like I'm thinking of like and people always get this wrong too, but like you're familiar with Watchmen, right? The comic book
Yep.
Watchmen. Like
Yep.
you know how Rorschach has like a really insane like moral compass,
Yeah.
but like he is insane. Like he's not
Right.
like I think like when you're 16, you're like, yeah, he's right. But it's like, no, he's deranged. Like he like just because he has a moral compass, it doesn't mean it is correct. And I
Yeah.
feel like a smarter movie would show the same thing. But like this movie is like convinced that Jigsaw is like a hero, and it's really odd. Like
Yeah.
I can't get over how weird it is that they're like you're like rooting for him. And like I guess it'd be one thing again, it'd be one thing if this is like I don't know, like a hateful eight situation where like everyone involved is awful. So it's like you're just kind of there, but like they really want you to like Jigsaw is like a good guy, and coming up very shortly, like he is trying to save a child's life, and it's just like it doesn't really work.
Doesn't that seem
Like
so Hollywood though?
it's so it's just weak.
Where
It's just they
yeah.
can't you can't, God forbid you have some kind of moral gray area. Like, oh, what if it's just all awful people? I mean, that's closer to life anyway. Most
Yeah.
people are pretty awful. So anyway, then this isn't this where you get the we forgot to mention that during all of the sawing,
So,
um one of the patients that Jigsaw meets in the like the fake clinic or whatever shows up, and he's like, oh, I found out that the head doctor ripped me off and I'm gonna kill her and blah 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 blah. And so they like lock, he brings a gun, and they lock him into a chair because they're like, no guns, but you can, you can watch her die or
no
whatever.
guns, they're too dangerous.
Yeah, it's like he's like fucking Batman. He's like, no guns. Like, I'll saw people's heads off, but like I draw the lines at guns. Also in another Saw movie, he used a gun. Like the trap was a literal like carousel that had a gun. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Um uh so anyway, so you find out he somehow I don't know. I again I was kind of lapsing in and out of consciousness watching this movie, but that guy was chained up in like their little command center, and then next thing you know, he's out and he has his gun. I was like, how did that happen?
Yeah, I missed that too.
Yeah,
Um,
but anyway, he is in cahoots with the head doctor. They're like fucking or something, and it's like, oh, and we tricked you, Jigsaw. And then the movie gets real silly because the head evil doctor, the fake evil doctor, and her lover, now they're going to put Jigsaw through like a jigsaw trap. And you're like, okay. And then like for whatever reason, they're like, we're gonna make Jigsaw even more upset because we're gonna bring this kid that he bonded with for 5 minutes to help build a
yeah,
bike.
this poor little
uh,
kid who's playing soccer by himself.
oh, can
Um,
I bring something up real quick? I forgot about, but I really want to mention. So there is before all the sawing again, there is individual scenes where each of the fake hospital people get abducted and brought to the jigsaw traps, right? So Gabriella, the girl that's a drug addict or whatever, for some reason this movie decides that she needs to almost get like sexually or is sexually assaulted, and then Amanda hits her friggin' rapist in the head, and then she's abducted. But like, why did we need that like scene of almost rape? Like, why was that in the movie? I was like, that's so like
you're talking
unnecessary
about
and
when she
weird.
was in the stall, in the bathroom
No, when
stall.
she's in the car after the stall,
Oh,
she
oh,
meets
right.
that guy at the bar, and
No,
then
you're
he like
talking about the first, the Valentine or whatever.
Gabriella is her name.
Oh, was it Gabriella?
But
Um,
yeah, why is that in the movie? Why did you need that? Why can't she just walk out of the bar and then Amanda hits her in the head? Why does she almost have to get raped and then
Yeah.
abducted. I'm like, what the fuck was that for? Like, why? Like, I was so confused why they had to put that in there. I was like, that's gross. Like, very odd.
Um,
Anyway, sorry, that happened like 20 minutes in movie time before any of the stuff we're talking about. But it bothered me. I thought it was really weird. It's a
yeah.
weird piece of cinema.
That
Maybe
they
one thing, because I thought that the big burly guy maybe was like working with Jigsaw or something, because that would make sense, I guess. But no, he wasn't. He was just a fucking sex offender. Like,
I think it
very
was
odd.
to like kind of this is just a wild guess to build up the tension because you know something is about to happen.
Yeah,
And the attempted rape is a weird uh like tool to use to like kind of build up that intensity. But
yeah.
then for it to
But
be
it
broken
ends
up
with
by
it. Yeah, it ends with Amanda hitting the rapist in the head with a rock, and then I guess presumably hitting her in the head with a rock. Like, they don't show it. It's like
yeah.
I don't know. It seemed very unnecessary.
Yeah. Oh, it absolutely was.
But anyway, sorry.
Maybe to add shock value. I
I
mean, we could
guess
only guess like what the hell they were thinking. This movie, uh,
some producers like, we need more rape in this bitch. Yeah.
we're
Uh,
edgy. We're Lionsgate.
yeah. So anyway, so you find out that evil fake doctor and her lover are gonna put Jigsaw through a bloodboarding test. Like, it's like waterboarding. It's like a seesaw, right? Like, oh, I can't use props because the camera won't pick it up. So it's
Yeah.
like a seesaw, and they put the little kid on the one side and Jigsaw on the other. So when it shifts one way, blood pours down, and then when there's a lever on either side, so if you pull the lever, then the other person gets the blood in the face, and it's
It was
stupid.
yeah, waterboarding by way of
Blood.
where did all that blood come from? I
I
mean, we're
mean,
talking gallons upon
gallons, and it
gallons.
was just like on like nonstop. Yeah. So anyway, so this like Saw test is like really bad anyway, because like they never explain the rules, and like it's funny because, like, again, this movie was written by a 5-year-old. So earlier in the film, this kid that Jigsaw befriends, he explains how to say the word pull in Spanish, and thankfully this trap involves pulling, which is like, okay, I guess. And then while they're getting bloodboarded, um the two evil people, that they're like, we're gonna go get our money, and the money's up in Jigsaw's control room or whatever, and they're like, okay. But then they go up there, and the control room locks down, and then the bloodboarding stops, the blood hoses are shut down, and then you find out something that Saul does that drives me absolutely crazy, and all the movies do this. They love recapping stuff that literally just happened 5 seconds before the recap. Like, this movie was made for somebody with like Finding Nemo disease, where it's just like you can't remember something 10 seconds ago. Like, because they recap, like, they literally at one point they recap like the guy's like, I love you, baby, and it's just like, that just happened. Like, we didn't
Yeah.
need to see that. But anyway, so this is then it's revealed that Jigsaw planned all this. He expected all of this
He's
to
so
happen.
clever, isn't he? He's always one
Now
step ahead.
the fun part is, again, no part of this movie is held up under any scrutiny. So if the evil doctor's boyfriend just decided to shoot both of them, I mean, that would have gone off script, I guess. He wouldn't have thought of that. I mean, because he
Yeah.
could have done that the whole time. He could have just shot them, and in fact, don't know why he didn't, because he knew, like, he got
One of
out
them
of
was
it.
bound to survive.
Well, he got out. Well, he got out of his contraption. Oh wait, he couldn't have shot him because, remember, Jigsaw dummied his bullets. Okay, fair enough. But he could have shot him before that.
He could
Like,
have tried.
he could have at
He didn't
least
know they
tried.
were dummied.
Yeah, he dummied the bullets. But anyway, so then, so th- this part fucking killed me. So Jigsaw knew all this was coming, and they show how he plotted all this stuff and prepared for this, which again is fucking silly. He floods the control room with like this like caustic gas, but there's just this fucking hole that they can stick their head out of, so one of them can survive, one isn't. And I'm sorry, I watched too much porn. I was like, stepbrother, help me, I'm stuck in the gas hole like the whole time. So anyway, so then the one of them dies, right? I forget. I
Yeah,
my
Parker, the boyfriend.
The boyfriend
Uh,
dies, and then
yeah,
what happens to the lady? I don't even remember.
she's stuck in the hole.
She's
Well,
stuck in the
but
hull.
here's
Yeah.
the. I mean, they set it up for another movie because she gets her head through the hole so she can breathe. Um,
Another Nine Inch Nails reference. Head through the
head
hole.
through the hole. So she gets her head through the hole. Parker's dead because she stabbed him, and the gas had turned off. So it was just a waiting game at this point for her. Yeah, she's still stuck in the room. She's got to figure her way out, but at least she's not going to, die from, gas inhalation.
Yeah.
But, she seemingly survives
Yeah. And
this
then
plan.
Amanda, Jigsaw, and this little kid literally walk into the sunset, and then like the fucking
Uh,
title card pops up, and this music is like swelling. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Also, did you watch this stinger? There's a fucking stinger in this
I
movie.
didn't. I
Oh, it's
didn't.
stupid as hell. So, Jigsaw, it cuts to the guy the guy from his cancer group that told Jigsaw to go to the treatment. He's like in like a saw trap. He's in like a bathroom chained
Wow.
up, and then Jigsaw's like, "Fucking, you screwed me, dude. What's up with that?" And then the guy that's the cop that's in the other movies, that's like originally he was tracking down Jigsaw, but then he becomes Jigsaw. He's in it, and he's like, messing with Jigsaw, that's fucking bad luck. And then he turns a trap on, and then the movie's over. I'm like, what the fuck did I just
Oh,
watch?
gosh.
I guess like it was for all the fucking Saw heads, or like they wanted to get everybody in there. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, this movie's stupid as shit. This movie has like the tendency where it's like it's stupid, but it's not fun. Like it doesn't like it's not goofy enough. It like
Yeah.
I saw a review when it came out that said Saw X is too much like a real movie, and that's why it's bad. And I completely agree with that. Like
Yeah.
it tries so hard to be like an actual movie, but like it's not written well. Like it's
Yeah.
not like everybody's trying. Like I will say, like Tobin Bell, the guy that plays Jigsaw, he does have a certain charisma, and I do like him like on screen,
Yeah.
but like and he's trying, but like everybody else is terrible, and like the writing is really bad, and like again, the motivation for Jigsaw is stupid. Like I don't, the whole thing is just like very weak, and again, like if you're gonna be a fake surgery thing, at least cut his head open and stitch it up, like like literally just to wrap
Yeah.
it up. They're like, see you later. Like I mean, it's just so crazy. That was like the fun, and you're right, like the fucking how to brain surgery DVD.
I want to get my hands on that actual DVD.
It should have been
That would be the
YouTube.
best
It should have
present.
been like a YouTube. Like this is brought to you by Skillshare. Like this is how you do fucking brain surgery. We got about 4 minutes left. I guess we should give scores.
I have a feeling I know what score you're gonna give it. I'm probably gonna give it a similar score. I'm gonna give it a 3.9.
Yeah, it's slightly higher than I would give it, but
Okay.
yeah, I didn't think it was like the worst thing I'd ever seen, but it's like 2.5.
Yeah. You know what
It's
this
like
thing it has going for it is that it's so dumb that it it's got some you may disagree. It's got some kind of endearing quality about it, and I can't quite put my finger on it.
see, I feel like
Maybe it's
the
a bit of
reason that
nostalgia. I don't know what it is, but I
that
like
quality is worn away from me because I've seen all of these fucking movies. I mean,
yeah, I
if anybody wants to listen, you can go back to the old movie, the podcast episodes. We did something called Sawgust, and we watched every Saw
oh
movie,
boy.
and
Yeah, I couldn't do that. I wouldn't do
it
that.
it was
No.
bad. It was
Yeah.
real bad.
That's
But
traumatizing. I'm
this isn't
surprised
as
you weren't triggered by this movie.
this isn't nearly as bad as the Chris Rock Saw though.
Really.
This is still at least it's true to its roots to a certain extent. Again, I think where it fails is that like if you go watch Saw 3D, I actually recommend you watch Saw 3D. It's a lot of fun. It's
Yeah.
stupid as shit. It's very goofy. And it's like a Spanish soap opera. Like every actor is hamming it up. Like and it's like super like just silly.
Yeah.
Like I needed more of that in this. This it felt like they were trying to make like the fucking moving drama of Saw X, and it just didn't
Really.
work for me.
Okay.
Um, I could have used a little bit more splatter and silliness, and also like more. Again, they've made so many of these friggin' movies, so like the traps are few and far between what they can do. But like, make the eyeball trap a real thing. Just don't have it be a daydream. Just put it in the end. Like,
Yeah. I mean,
make the
if you're
eyeball
a
trap
real
real.
fan of these Saw movies, and I've seen most of them, if not all of them, like TJ, like you become desensitized to these traps, as you say. Like you've seen all these
You've
killings.
seen
You
everything,
got you gotta get creative with it. And
these
this
were just not
these were
creative
bad.
at all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were just
I mean,
tough.
the one that's literally just like a glorified heat gun. It was just
Yeah.
like, oh, you're just dangling in front of a heat gun. Like,
Yeah.
okay, that's all you got, huh?
All
Well, like,
right, my
because
computer's about to die.
I thought they were gonna do something cool where they was talking about radiation. I thought they're gonna put her in like a fucking microwave or something, but I
Yeah.
don't know. Anyway,
That
all
would be
right, your
too
computer's
creative.
about to die. We only got
Yeah.
about a minute. I think that'll be it.
Yeah.
But we do know what we're watching next week
We
already.
do.
We're watching
TJ, go ahead and tell them.
Where Evil Lurks, the new Shudder original, a Spanish film. So
Yeah. A lot of
we
hype
are,
behind that one too. So
yeah, I'm looking forward to
hope for
watching
the
it.
best.
Yeah. So, all
All
right,
right.
everybody, that's the show. Bye bye.
Bye,
And
everybody.
just remember, if somebody asks you if you want to play a game, be careful. I can't. I was
And
doing
if his
the
name's
saw
TJ
voice.
Samba.
Yeah, yeah. If I send you a DM about playing a game, beware. All right,
He
everybody.
shows up at your doorstep with a jigsaw cake, you know
That's
that
right.
you're in deep
That's right.
trouble.
I play my cheeks at the spirals and yeah.
All right.
All
See ya.
right. Bye, guys.